Okay, on Valentine's Day I went to go see Wolfman. You're probably thinking it's a couple days behind. I got wicked food poisoning from Wendy's in Peoria. Essentially, Wolfman, they tried to do... Toro tried to do his best, like Lon Chaney impersonation the whole time. The werewolf effects, the changing... seeing someone like break their fingers to go through the transformation was pretty good. It's different. We're used to seeing these much more like huge, drawn out, CGI enhanced, giant looking werewolves, and this one was still roughly human sized. And they didn't do for the long, protracted head. It was more kind of like a regular human face with just more, more wolf style features to it. And although it works pretty well, the problem with this one is it almost felt shot for shot like it was a true remake of one of the original, Universal monster movies, which is good from a nostalgic standpoint. And the acting is very good, just this movie kind of had some pacing issues to it. The scenes with the werewolf seemed to go by way too fast, way too frenetic. You could tell that this one had lots of post-production problems, because some of the cuts just seemed to be kind of bizarre and not make a lot of sense. But all in all, I'd say this, for this one being the, essentially the beginning, hopefully, of the re-envisioning of all of the old Universal monster movies. You might see like a Mummy movie, actual, not a Brendan Fraser one, maybe a new Frankenstein, a new Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon. There's a lot of material they can go from. And this one overall it's good. It's a very solid movie. Different from the other werewolf ones, because it is visceral. But you don't have... The werewolves look different than they do in something like, let's say, Underworld. Or the wolf that you see in Twilight New Moon. I don't call it werewolf because he transformed into a giant wolf. There were no human characteristics to it. It's got great set design to it. Great set design, really beautifully done that way. Good cinematography. Like I said, the editing kind of comes off kind of meh. Has Hopkins delivered better work? Yes. But I'll be honest, I would take Anthony Hopkins phoning it in over lots of the modern actors delivering an Oscar Academy performance. He did a very good job. Benicio del Toro, again, very good job. Hugo Weaving played his part very well. I would have loved to have there been any mention. We said, I have a doctor to come see you. I was thinking, if you just throw out the name, like Helsing, that's it. You don't need to show him, just need to throw him out there. Because he was always a huge, binding the tide so many of those movies together where people like him, main protagonists. All in all, very good. I was actually fairly impressed by it. I walked in there with a lot of expectations because, Hopkins, very, very good actor. Del Toro, again, very solid actor. And, the moments where you're supposed to kind of feel empathy for the beast, you did. Could you tell there were some spots where, the way it was done didn't seem quite right? Like, when Del Toro's more or less told, you know what, you're a werewolf. There's a moment just kind of like, You get like there should have been like more of an interplay there, but given the time frame, there wouldn't have been that huge, outburst of emotion because back then guys didn't have that near as much. You had kind of more of a slow, smoldering portion to it, as opposed to like a straight out no. It was more of kind of like that slow. You could tell he was internally struggling with it, which looking back on it, worked fairly well. So Wolfman. I've actually since I've dedicated a whole month to doing werewolf movies, I was pleasantly surprised. I actually enjoyed it.